Some people are like, gosh, he should have just taken the fifth and fifth place points. And,
I would have loved to. Yeah, I'd have loved to take him to third. But honestly, when the 12 slid up, it just took the air off of it and it took off. I wasn't at that point really pushing it. Once the 22 got by me, I knew that was for the race win. That was sort of over. So, down in one there when Blaney and I were side by side, as he started to clear up, is right where it flattened out, and I just got put in a dirty air spot that I honestly wasn't anticipating. And so that's frustrating to not bring it home and not get a solid points day as far as that goes. But that one honestly was just caught me off guard. I think Texas is kind of treacherous like that. There's a few spots that really are difficult, and that was definitely one of those things that I wasn't expecting.
So you thought you'd probably finish third or fourth at that time?
It's only a couple laps to go.
Yeah.
I mean, we were going to finish third. So, but I wasn't. Like I said, it's hard to explain. I wasn't panicked of like, oh, I got to get right back around these guys. I knew the race was over at that point, and I was fine settling in and taking a third. And like I said, when the 12 came up, it just was a weird spot, and the back end came around.
And those closing laps, was any part of you thinking, okay, if I win this, they'll finally associate me with something else at Texas other than the 2008?
No, you don't think about that. You're just trying to win the race. Yeah, didn't think about any of those things.
You mentioned earlier in the week that perhaps you would have maybe approached racing the 22 down the backstretch a little differently. I'm just eager how you would have maybe changed that approach.
No, I wouldn't have changed that. No, I would have changed just moving up into his lane, but the thing that's hard for the outside to see is if I run the top there, he pulls down the bottom. And we're side by side anyways, and I didn't want to be on the outside of 3 and 4. We all saw how treacherous that was. So, I made my move to the bottom intentionally, hoping that I would be able to choke it off maybe one more lap and then try to just mirror drive him at that point. But being that he was 2 or 3 car lengths back, it really wasn't an opportunity for me just to go into his lane. It's easy to do when they're right on your bumper. You can just follow them. But with that gap, he could pull down and make his move. So I was at a pretty vulnerable spot right there. He was quicker. I mean, he was coming, as you guys saw, even in the dirty air, he was still reeling me in. So it was going to be an uphill battle for sure. So I would have made a few decisions differently getting into turn 1. But as far as the block and all that, like I took it as far as I could take it, and felt like I left him racing room and room to make the corner, and I knew that he was going to go, and he knew I was going to go for it. So I don't really see anything real worrisome with that.
Do you have to be a Pacer fan, or are you? Do you have to root for the
have
Pacer?
to?
Yeah, well, I mean, you got the
Cambridge Stadium and all that.
Yeah.
I was there. We went there, had a cool event in February. I don't watch a lot of other sports, Bob. I'm not going to lie to you here. Yeah, I couldn't even tell you where they're at.
Okay.
Whether it's playoffs or the
They're
season
in
just
playoffs.
started or it's the finals, I have no idea.
Well, how about with your association? Do you make it to Indianapolis at all over the next 2 weeks?
No, I would love to. I mean, that's definitely on the bucket list for me, is going there and seeing it all. I grew up an open wheel guy and never have been there for a 500, so I would love to see it, but at least for the next couple of years I won't be there.
Your teammate Carson, he's had some bumps in the road this year with this misfortune, but also getting into trouble with other drivers and receiving criticism from them. What have you seen from him as the years progressed, as he's bounced back from those instances, and how he's answering criticism, trying to make himself a better racer?
Yeah, I'm not really sure how he's answering it. I don't know. I didn't see that, if there was something today that I missed. But anytime that you're running with the speed that we have right now at Spire Motorsports, you're going to be in those spots where you're challenging for wins and you're challenging for top 5s, and you're mixing it up with people that maybe aren't used to you mixing it up with. And so you just sort of learn the etiquette, the do's and don'ts, and sometimes you're on the good side of it, sometimes you're on the wrong side of it. I think the most important thing is just how you handle it moving forward. And I think like last weekend, that was definitely one of those racing incidents where dirty air, sliding up, both guys were out of the throttle trying not to crash. So for sure there's different decisions you can make in every situation, but I think the important part is the intent, right? Of, hey, I made a mistake, I should have checked out sooner. Whatever his answer is, I don't know exactly what his answer is. just being able to have that conversation with guys and not just blowing it off that it'll be okay, because things fester and build and grow, and you want to be on the front end of it.
Just for added context there, Carson did reach out to Preece and they had a conversation about
Okay,
it.
cool.
And he said that it was productive.
Okay, I'll watch it tonight.
That said, from your perspective, the 71 team, how have you guys responded to the outcome of what Texas was for you guys? A ton of speed, in position late to capitalize on that speed, but didn't get the result to show for it.
Yeah.
How have you guys responded within that last week?
Unloading in the top 2 and qualifying in the top 10 and go race for it tomorrow. I mean, racing's tough. It's hard to win cup races, and the highs and lows of this sport are tough. I mean, but we are in a position. We try to give ourselves a fighting chance at it. It didn't work out, and we got good speed. So we'll come back, today and tomorrow and go race for it and see if we can get it done. So. I'm just proud of the fight. We got a good fight, and we're making big gains at Spire right now, and we saw with both cars and all 3 cars having speed the last 2 or 3 weeks. And between the group, we're getting stronger as a group and not individual cars, so that's really important moving forward as we learn and grow. So I think all things are on a good side. Needed to win badly. I mean, it would be awesome to be sitting here with a win this weekend and know you're locked in and know you're in the all-star race and all the things that come with it. But we didn't, and that's racing. And so we'll fight hard, and we'll have another opportunity, more than one, and hopefully when that timing comes, we'll get it done.
How much does Texas translate to here?
Well, I don't think the track itself is, a one-to-one. I mean, obviously they're very different, but I think overall speed and overall potential in your race cars does correlate. So hitting the setup right on both of them is important. This car is super finicky. You're only 1 or 2 changes away from being good and 1 or 2 changes away from being really bad. And I'm proud of, our ability to adapt. And, we had a few rough weeks where maybe we were good on Saturday but not on Sunday. And I felt like, the last little bit here we've sort of honed in on what we need to do. And tomorrow will be another test of that. But we got good track position to start out here, and I think we'll be in the mix.
Have you done any simulator work yet for Mexico?
I did, yeah, I have. It's just starting that process. It's still early days, but I'm excited about Mexico. Everything about it. You guys know I love road courses.
Mm-hmm.
It's a road course that I've won at maybe 20 years ago, but still have some history there, and just a great city, great fans, amazing crowd. And I'm excited. I think it's going to be an awesome race. I'm really looking forward to it.
Soros says it was, from his experience in simulator, it's more technical than he was expecting. How would you describe how it runs?
It's definitely technical. I think, with our cars in particular, as heavy as they are, and not a ton of downforce compared to an Indy car or Formula One car, everything's a little bit more technical and slower speed. Those back S's, obviously in an open wheel car, extremely fast. Our car, they will be second, third gear, very technical. So it was what I expected. Maybe that's just because I've had a little bit of seat time there, but I thought it was a cool configuration, and there's some changes from when I ran there, but it was good.
I realized that 1 week later the heartbreak dissipates and you're able to put the lows behind you, but it doesn't seem like you're so disheartened where you're not letting the lows get too low. How difficult is that in this business, and how has your experience over the years helped you find whatever that balance is?
It is a balance. It's a loaded question because each moment, each scenario is different. And, sometimes it just doesn't work out and you feel like you did everything right. Well, that was not last week. I don't feel like I did everything right. So you're harder on yourself because you felt like you needed to make different decisions that could have maybe, gave you a better shot at winning it. But this is what I'll say is that I don't know the stats, but I've won 2 races in the Cup Series. I've lost like 498. You got to pretty much get used to losing in this sport. And if that doesn't drive you to win and doesn't give you that hunger, then you're going to get really low and really down. And if you think about Hall of Fame guys, I mean, just Hall of Famers, Carl Edwards, right? Just got inducted to Hall of Fame. How many races did he win?
I think 28, somewhere around there.
Right. How many races did he run?
A lot more than that.
600 maybe, right? So let's just call it 30. You do the percentage, that's a lot of losing. And so you can't be just so disheartened that you lose sight of the next week, because that's what's great about our sport. You always have next week. And I lived that for 16 years, and I saw it come to fruition. And, I believe with my entire heart that we'll get the victory lane this year. And each week it doesn't happen, I'm just getting ready for the next one. The next one and the next one. And so, you just can't let your lows be too low and your highs be too high.
I appreciate it. Yeah.
My Place Hotels is proud to be the official hotel partner of Frontstretch. With plush beds, in-room kitchens, and pet-friendly hotels, My Place makes for the perfect pit stop when traveling. Frontstretch fans can use promo code Frontstretch to save 10% on your stay at any of our nationwide properties. Sign up for our Stay Rewarded program to get even more savings. With My Place Hotels, don't just stay, stay rewarded.
What's up? Michael Massey here, frontstretch.com. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button.